Five, four, three, two, one, action.
Action. We're live. We're here with the All right, Sissy started off for us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of
Wow, I can't even finish because when I first used to sing, she would cringe.
I would cringe.
And now I have her like, let's start another episode.
Listen, we are free, baby. We are wild and free. And Scorpion season is here. It's Scorpion season, right?
Scorpio.
Oh, sorry. Scorpio.
Toxicos.
I don't think it's the toxico. It's the sexy. It's the.
They're gonna love you
that
for
dark
that.
feminine. It's
You just made a couple out of Scorpio besties.
I did.
Wait, but we didn't finish. Let's get deep with Ed and Pete.
Beam. I don't know what I said. Beam. I'm sorry. That just came out. All right, everyone. So for today's episode, we are going to be diving into co-creating with the universe.
All right. So you start this one off, sis.
Okay. So co-creating with the universe. So I remember like listening to podcasts and like reading books and people talking about this concept of like co-creating with the universe, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, how do you co-create with the universe? And I don't necessarily have all the answers. I want to put that disclaimer, but I think as I am starting to really trust myself more and really seeing that as I let go of control, over this imaginary control that I think I have, because really I don't have control at all. Yeah. But as I'm letting go of control, I'm seeing, oh wait, things are really happening for me, and I don't have to resist so much, or I don't have to try to control everything, because things are truly happening for me. And so what do I mean? So for example, we can take it back to when I was in a marriage, right? I feel like I was trying to control so much the outcome of that relationship, because I had an idea of what I thought that relationship should be. And so I constantly, even at my own, even in my, for my own, I want to say like my own benefit, or for my own healthy way, I don't even know really how to say that, but I was just forcing this relationship so much because I wanted to seem perfect. I wanted to be in a long marriage. I didn't believe that I didn't think divorce was good. I thought it would be frowned, like it would make me feel like if I was a failure, right? All of these things that literally were just limited beliefs that I had around what a marriage should be. And once I like really, I didn't really see it until the other side, right? Because you don't see it when you're in it. When you're in it, you're going through it, and you don't realize like, why is this happening to me? I think it was a lot of a victim too. I was literally in a victim mentality of like, but why me, God? Why I'm a good person and I just want to be loved and I want to love, and why am I in this relationship? Today, as I'm driving here to your house, this thing came into my head. The greatest expression of self-love was that relationship for me. Like, it was the greatest gift that marriage gave me, because through that, I started my self-love journey. Once I let go of that relationship, which was hard as fuck, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat that being in flow is easy all the time. No, it's hard. You're gonna have times that the waves are gonna smack you and you're gonna be like, holy shit, am I gonna survive this? But now that I'm on the other side and I've seen who I am, I'm like, wow, thank you for that relationship and that experience, because it showed me what it really is when you start trusting and loving yourself and doing the work, right? And that's what I think it's co-creating with the universe, right? Like, people want a life where it's pain-free. Like, no one wants to suffer. No one wants, but part of the beauty is the suffering. Like, you have to go through the suffering to also feel beauty. And I think we just don't like that. I think we don't realize that through the dark, I read something or I listened to something that there is no light without darkness. There is no darkness without light. And we just have to work with those things. And I don't think people know how to, or I don't think we are really taught that that's the way life should be, at least in my opinion.
Wow. There's a lot of things that came to mind. The two big ones that came to mind for me is how pain is needed to create light. And I thought of when we visited the World Trade Center Museum.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
that was, I remember, because we went with Sissy's boyfriend True. He had an uncle that passed away in 9/11, and the most vulnerable moment for me through that museum was when we went to that room where his wife was, like just expressing
who he was.
He was and all that stuff. And wow, like that, I remember just getting teary-eyed. And like, the museum is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's intentional. It's wow. It exceeded my expectations. It's actually one of my favorite museums that I've had the privilege to visit in New York. And I remember us talking in that museum, and we were like, damn, the only way that this was able to come alive and to be built was unfortunately through all the pain and disaster.
It's like the greatest expression of heartbreak and pain. Like it was so artistically beautiful. Everything that was like, you go into that museum, the lighting, just the way they place things, it was almost like a story. Like you walked in and it was telling a story. And obviously the story is a horrific one, and if the fact of it is, right, like so many 3,000 plus people died, and forever lives were changed through that event. But wow, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful to see, and it was really vulnerable too. And I thought it was, I agree with you. I thought like that for me also was like, wow, even through pain and something horrific happening, there's beauty around it, right? But it's hard to see that when you're in the midst of it, right?
So there's three things now. There's three things. So ground me back to the three things.
So that was one.
That was one.
Okay.
The second was, I was showering yesterday, and honestly, I stopped my shower to send you that quote that just came in my mind.
What was the quote again?
The greater the fear, the smaller the trust. Because it's making me, I kind of like you, learning that I can't control anything beyond myself. And you said something in the last podcast that forever changed me. When you're recognizing what you want to give your energy to. And that's what I can control, how I'm fueling my energy. I can't control how this person will react, how the weather's gonna look like tomorrow, the next scenario that's gonna take place in my life, but I can control my energy, my frequency. And I recognize there is so much fear inside of me because the trust just hasn't been there. And it hasn't been there not because I don't want to trust myself, but because my body is programmed to protect me, to not want to feel hurt, to not want to feel pain. And because I don't want to feel these things, I don't trust myself to step into certain things because I just don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that. So I'm recognizing now, holy shit, I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting myself from this uncomfortable feeling, and I'm seeing the cost of that. The cost of that is I'm limiting.
You're stuck in.
I'm limiting. Yeah, I'm limiting my experiences.
Wow. So you still have the third one you have to go through, but before you do,
I forgot it. But if I remember, I got you.
Okay.
Oh, the third one I remember.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to, or do you want to?
Will you remember it?
Yes.
Okay. So what I love about what you said there is,
if I forget, remind me with the word attachment.
Attachment. Okay. So what I love about what you said is that is what co-creating is. You can't control what life will what life is going to what experiences life is going to show you, because I think that's part of your learning and growth, and only the universe will know that for you, will know what's best for you if you trust, right? If you trust in the divine and God and the universe, that what is presenting to you is for your greatest good, is for your learning, is for your involvement. The only thing you can control is how you're showing up and what energy you're putting into that, right? So can you give me an example before we go to the third one of what has been something that you have just been resisting, and not just once or twice, like a pattern that you've been going through, that the universe continues to put you through it, and how has your energy shifted, and now you're seeing the universe co-creating with you in a different way?
I think you know the answer to this.
Well, I know I do, but I want the audience to
The biggest one has been my job. I can understand why I've been having so much instability these last 3 years. So prior to moving up to New York City, I was in Florida for the last 15 years. Florida practically raised me. And I was able to obtain this corporate job, got a pretty decent salary position. And that was the company that I grew with. That was the company that taught me leadership, that I just grew this attachment and this love for, and this loyalty to. And shame on me, I decided to date within the company. The breakup didn't go, hey, we're gonna be honest here.
Let's get deep.
The breakup didn't go well, and I kind of just ran what I do best. I sold my house, left the company, just ran. And then I come up to New York. That was before landing in Jersey, I started my first year in New York, and any challenge that came in any career that I've obtained, I've ran. It's been just uncomfortable, and I've just compared it to this last job that I had in Florida. Always just went back to, damn, but why did I leave this job? Did I make the wrong decision?
So what was the belief? What was the limited belief there?
The belief was that no job is going to give me the security and the stability, that this job is going to give me the opportunity for advancement. Like I was crazy. I was talking to my best friend before this podcast, and I'm like, wow, I've been interviewing to a couple jobs this week, and I'm like, wow, the jobs out here are just so cool. Like in Florida, I was in my bubble just thinking that this big corporate company is the only way I could have stability and make money. And these are like the coolest jobs that I've never even thought of. And she did mention, the market is a little different up here. But okay, so to ground myself back to the story, so I'm actually back in this company again. And
in the original company that she left, by the way.
Yes.
In Jersey,
yes. And man, was I excited. This time around, I'm going to take over the world. Yes, I'm back to my comfort home. I'm back home. That was my quote. I'm back home. Fuck, this home sucks. I'm not holding back on this one. So I actually, to not exaggerate, oh my God, I know a couple team members are gonna listen to this, and you guys know, the vibe at work is amazing.
Now it is.
Yes, I'm at a store where I just love every single soul that I love every single soul that I work with. We have it's a great culture, it's a great environment, but I'm recognizing I've outgrown this stage, and I can own that. I've totally outgrown this stage. This is not the room that I want to be in anymore, and I was almost scared to even own that, because it's fuck, but can I really find something better? Am I just being stubborn? And that belief had me push and pull till I finally said, and it happened in Spain, not making this shit up, no, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. As petrified, because this is all I've known for the last decade, as petrified as I am, no, fuck, I'm ready to go. Whatever growing pains comes in this next challenge, this time I'm not running away.
And how do you know you're not running?
Because I know what running looks like. I know what the discomfort feels like now. And I even felt it in this company. And I didn't run for the first time. You know it. I haven't ran. I was put in such, I watch people just behave so unethically. And I am all about justice and no, this is wrong. But through all this unethicalness, no, I've learned that is beyond my power. I don't want to give that energy. All I can do is control how I show up at work and the kind of energy and leader that I want to be for my team. But I didn't run. I stayed the course, and it made me understand, fuck, I just need to see the other side. I gotta give myself a chance to see the other side. And I really believe this is myself and the universe dancing right now, because you know it. I've had so many interviews, I was applying for jobs for the last 6 months, and
it was a dry
spell. And the minute, I wish I could say I was making this up, but no, the minute my energetical frequency changed, and I've allowed myself, and it's not we're gonna fake happen. No, it's genuinely understanding. No, I'm ready to let go.
How does that feel in your body?
It's not a push and pull anymore. It's not a resistance. It's not fear is so forced. I don't know how to explain it. It's so forced. You are forcing that the outcome needs to look this way. I don't know what my next chapter is. I don't know what the next outcome is. What I do know is this is not the space that I want to be in anymore. So I'm intentionally knocking on different doors. Whichever one opens, I'm not just going to be desperado and jump into the first one. But whichever one opens, if it matches, what I'm resonating to in this moment in my journey, that's the door I'm gonna go.
And that's co-creating with the universe. That is exactly what I mean with co-creating with the universe. The third thing is attachment. So what are we gonna say with that?
You were talking about your divorce, and I'm learning because when I was engaged and went through that, I think I've been a dater. I've dated most of my life.
She's a serial dater.
Yeah. And out of all my relationships, that one was the toughest. Man, that one was the toughest one for me to let go. And I'm recognizing now, like even going through my last breakup, yes, I love the person. Yes, it did hurt, but I know I'm not gonna die. Like I've been through a breakup already. I know I'm gonna survive. And I think it's been easier to navigate through it because it's the attachment you just had. It's not the person, it's the attachment you had to the outcome. It's the attachment you had to the story. The belief was so deeply ingrained in me that was going to be my wife at one point. I got down on one knee and thought my whole life was planned out for me, that I could tell in relationships now. And it even made my last partner cringe in the beginning of us dating, where I could see where it could make people think that maybe I don't care or I don't love them, but I can't control the outcome. I can own that I love you, but at any moment I can lose you. I'm not attached to the forever anymore. And I think not being attached to being able to date and not thinking so far ahead, because there was a moment when then I started thinking so far ahead. When are we going to move in together? When are we going to make it official? When I started to force the attachment, that's when everything just like crumbled. When you're just, it's like like you're forcing an outcome instead of just letting things flow.
I was taking a shower today as I was getting ready, and I'm like, okay, I'm really just like gonna learn how to, be in the flow and not be attached to anything. And I remember saying, and I'm just, whatever it is, I'm not gonna get attached. I'm not gonna get attached, except for True. Like him, I want to be with forever, and that I know. And then I had to tell myself, wait, but no, like even that you don't know. And that scared me so much. I saw it, like I felt it in my body, like, oh no, like this, I'm not saying that that's what I'm wishing on my relationship, but it like hit me that like, wow, even that, I don't know. I can't be even attached to that. And it made me realize like how much I love him and how much I want this relationship to work. So enjoy it in the moments, enjoy the now, because I don't know whether, God forbid, something happens to me, God forbid something happens to him, or one day, God forbid, if we fall out of love and this doesn't work for us anymore. So as scary as that idea might be, that like, no, I don't know how this relationship will be, and I can't even be attached to it. But the beauty of it is I do have right now, and I can enjoy this moment, and I can enjoy now. So yeah, co-creating is not easy. Co-creating is not an easy thing to do, but I think the more you trust and the more you flow, I think the easier it does get.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm finding myself attaching myself more to the present. So I intentionally have deleted my Instagram account. I love astrology. I deleted all my astrology accounts, and it's not a forever thing. I usually go through a moment of like, okay, I want to detach from alcohol, from sex, and this time around it's I guess a detachment from the distraction of a cell phone, because I watched when I was in Spain and I hit the train stations, everyone's on their phone and
no one's present.
And I'm seeing it even now. Like I was on the rail last night, I went out to the city, and I'm like, damn, like someone could be, this is where my mind takes me, I'm sorry, it's dark, someone can be plotting a murder right now, and everyone is so distracted
that no one will see
that no one will even see it. Like, wow, people are so distracted by their phones. Even myself, not having my astrology app has been tough. Like, I go to my phone and I'm like, fuck, you're so boring now. Like, I even try to scroll through my emails, and it's like, how much of email scrolling could I really do? This is fucking boring.
Yeah. I'm not ready to let go of all my shit right now. I'm having way too much fun with Pattern. But I must say that I do have a really good relationship with Instagram. I mean, too good that I have to like, in our sissy account, I gotta do better. Like I'm the marketing director here, and I'm directing shit. So
looking for a demotion.
I know, totally getting demoted. But I can say that I have a good relationship with social media. I'm just, one of the things that I don't want to get into like the deep hole is also like the self-healing hole, because even too much of anything is too bad, right? And I was listening to a song right now that like healing is not my job or something like that. Like I will, if we can link it, like I don't know how we do that, but maybe in the paragraph of like when we put out this episode, I really want to like link the song, because we're gonna listen to it when we're on our way to the workshop. It was so empowering that like, no, sometimes I don't want to be in my thoughts about like what I should be doing better, what I could be doing next. Like I just want to like feel the moment. I just want to live. I just want to have fun. I just want to really like flow. And sometimes even that I'm like so deep into like, oh wow, but I could have said this better. But okay, I could have worked on this. But and it's just even that is exhausting.
One of my, shout out to Julio if you're listening to this. So he gave me such a profound, so he's really into philosophy books. And it's crazy how the power of words can really shift our perspective. And I don't think he even recognizes what a powerful shift he gave me that night when he was like, I'm reading a book, and the book was saying, you know, when you put so much meaning behind things, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like a flower, we lose the essence of just looking at that flower and embracing what that flower is, because then we put so much meaning behind it. A rock is just a rock, but then we lose the essence of just looking at it like a rock because we put so much meaning behind it. And wow, I find myself like 2 days ago, I had such an intense dream. And usually I'm like fucking FBI agent just wanting to break down what is the message that the universe is trying to send me, and for once I'm like, okay, it was a pretty intense dream, but you know what? Hey, it is like,
you gotta tell me what that dream is later. I'm trying to, cause I want to decode. I'm such a decoder, but I get it.
Yeah, just not putting meanings to things. Like life is really, these last 2-3 years I've been in so much fear because I moved practically, what is it, across the country, or is that no? What's a better?
You moved states.
Yeah, I moved states away, and it was the culture in the north is very different from the culture South, in the south. The hustle and bustle is just so different, and there's so many fears that I've had to face because I was taken out of my comfort, stability, my known.
You know what's funny though, that like you lived in the south, yet you were racing. And you were used to the racing, yet now you live in the north where we are accustomed to racing, yet you're learning to slow down. I find that very ironic in your like life, how you had to move here, which here, if you're from the East Coast, New York, the tri-state area, we are fast, we go fast, we talk fast, we move fast. And it's like you have learned to like, wait, I gotta slow down. So that's beautiful that you're able to do that in an environment that is not set up for you to do so. That's interesting.
I was driving the other day, I was on the highway, and I was, I had the sunroof open, the windows down.
She was vibing.
The fall weather, the fall weather out here is the best. So I was just cruising. I was just on a comfortable speed, and I see the car, and I was like, oh my God, I got philosophical. Like, wow, that's like life. Everyone's just at their own pace. And maybe back in the day, I used to race to want to be in the finish line, to want the success now, to want it all now. And me driving at that pace, I wasn't driving fast. I was literally just at a normal pace. And I'm like, wow, I don't want to race to the finish line anymore, because I don't, like, the same way I don't want to rush to get to my destination. This pace feels good. If there was a truck that cut me off right now, I feel like I'm in a comfortable pace to, press my brakes and have control of the vehicle. Wow, that's kind of how I want to navigate through my life.
I fucking love that. There's no rush. Where are we going? There's no rush. So I'm gonna wrap it up by saying that co-creating is divine timing. Just things are gonna happen right when they need to, and like we don't have to force anything. Things are gonna happen and we just have to like flow with it. I'm not saying that there's always I'm not saying we're always gonna live on a high, and like she's still figuring out where her next chapter in her job is. I'm still figuring out my life, so we don't all have it wrapped up. But I feel like when you're just like trusting that the universe got my back, and I trust myself, and I know that I'm gonna make the right calls and the right choices when the time needs to. And so
I'm gonna add to that. It's not even about the universe having your back. It's trusting that you have your back. And when you trust that you have your back, the universe, and it's like you're dancing with the universe. It doesn't become this pull, push, force. You're just dancing and flowing through life.
That's right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode of Co-Creating with the Universe. I hope you start co-creating as we are wrapping 2024. I mean, November is next month, guys. We have 2 months to wrap this year. So how are we shifting our mindset? How are we shifting our beliefs so that we welcome a new abundance, a new energy for 2025?
Yeah.
All right.
I love that. I have nothing else to add.
Ha! This was a Sissy production.
Peace.
How would you feel?
Just getting better and better.
Fuck!
That was a good one. That's my favorite one yet.
That was
good.
I fucking loved it. Yo, I know we're gonna listen to it, but I know we don't